Breaking tonight, a mass theft at the Neiman Marcus downtown, and just before that, a smash and grab on the south side. The incidents come as protesters take to the streets following Kyle Rittenhouse's acquittals in Kenosha.
Many people demonstrating tonight upset over the verdict in that case.
Tia Ewing live tonight with more on the situation unfolding right now downtown. Tia.
Well, I am on the Mag Mile right now, Natalie and Anthony, and I can tell you that Chicago police are not confirming that these crimes are instances of looting. But what we do know is that protesters, they wanted their voices heard in downtown Chicago tonight. They had a protest over at Federal Plaza and then another one at Millennium Park. They say today's acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse shows justice isn't fair for all. Video from the south side shows Skyfox over the scene of a GameStop on 87th and Cottage Grove. On the ground, you can see glass and merchandise. Chicago police say several things were stolen from inside. On the Mag Mile, high-end retailer Neiman Marcus had 15 males storm in and take merchandise. They got away in 3 separate vehicles. While the crimes are unfolding, protesters were in the streets of downtown Chicago calling for justice after the Kyle Rittenhouse trial in Kenosha.
Terribly upset. This sets a very dangerous precedent because since he's not guilty on all 4 counts, this man went up there from Illinois to Wisconsin with an AR-15 with the intent to kill.
At one point, you could see protesters stop traffic on Michigan Avenue. They believe the acquittal was unfair and shows the justice system isn't just for all.
In solidarity with Jacob Blake and his family, in solidarity with the families of Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum, true heroes. They are heroes. They put their lives on the line to protect their fellow protesters from a racist white supremacist vigilante.
And we are out here on Michigan and Superior tonight. I do want to point out the fact that there has been definitely a stepped up Chicago police presence across the city. We were in the Loop earlier. We're on the Mag Mile now, and definitely you can tell a difference. And at some points we've noticed police just move in an instance with their lights going and definitely their sirens blaring. Of course, we'll continue to follow the situation in downtown Chicago. But in terms of looting, again, that has not been confirmed here in the city of Chicago. And so far, it seems to be overall peaceful. Live on the Mag Mile tonight, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the 4th count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the 5th count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
The nation watched today as Kyle Rittenhouse learned his fate. The 18-year-old collapsing in the courtroom as the jury acquitted him on all charges.
Things have been peaceful in Kenosha tonight, but tensions were high outside the courtroom immediately following the verdict.
Dane Placco is live in Kenosha tonight with more. Dane.
Yeah, and even at this late hour, believe it or not, there are still some people on the front steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse. Take a look back there, about 15 people or so, a couple waving signs, one with a flag. Nearly 9 hours, though, after the end of a trial that roiled this community and this country. There were cheers and jeers outside the Kenosha County Courthouse as the verdict was announced. After 25 hours of deliberations over 4 days, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted on all counts. Rittenhouse and his mother were whisked out a back exit, a news photographer catching a picture of him with a big grin on his face. But a family spokesperson says Rittenhouse's testimony clearly swayed the jury.
He was always going to take the stand. He always wanted to take the stand because he wanted to tell everybody, the world, his story, right? Nobody knew Kyle.
If Kyle didn't take that stand, what would have happened?
He would have lost.
Really, that was that key?
I believe that. And he held up to a lengthy cross-examination from a seasoned prosecutor.
But families of the victims are devastated. The parents of Anthony Huber releasing a statement saying, "We are heartbroken and angry that Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted in this criminal trial for the murder of our son, Anthony Huber. There was no justice today for Anthony." And Huber's girlfriend, Hannah Giddings, had tears in her eyes as she was let out of the courthouse.
I am especially not surprised at the outcome of this verdict. For Anthony Huber, the love of my life, we know that this system is a failure.
In a statement, Kenosha County prosecutors say the jury representing our community has rendered its verdict in the case. While we are disappointed with that verdict, it must be respected. Outside the courthouse, there were a few minor confrontations between Rittenhouse's supporters and detractors, all under the watchful eyes of Kenosha police. One woman collapsed and appeared to suffer a seizure. She was stretchered into an ambulance and taken to a nearby hospital. It's clear that while the trial may be over now, emotions will continue to run high.
This is like the Wild West now. You can go out in the streets and just play shoot 'em up.
I'm a self-defense guy. I believe in self-defense. It's a 1,000-year-old right, and I feel it was vindicated today.
Now, about an hour ago, there really was nobody in front of the Kenosha County Courthouse. As I mentioned, about 15 people. Some protesters are coming back to the scene right now, although it does remain peaceful here. And a couple hours ago, I checked some of the restaurants and bars in downtown Kenosha, only a couple of blocks from where we're standing right now. All of them open and seem to be filled with customers tonight. Live in Kenosha, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago. Back to you.
Dane, thank you. And more reaction tonight from the Biden administration. Vice President and former prosecutor Kamala Harris spoke about the verdict.
The verdict really speaks for itself. As many of you know, I've spent a majority of my career working to make the criminal justice system more equitable, and clearly there's a lot more work to do.
Earlier today, President Biden says he accepts the verdict and asked people to be peaceful. Governor J.B. Pritzker issuing a statement saying, in part, carrying a loaded gun into a community 20 miles from your home and shooting unarmed citizens is fundamentally wrong. It's a tragedy that the court could not acknowledge that basic fact.
Also today, the Illinois State Rifle Association issued a statement saying, in part, the decision today is a significant victory for the right of self-defense and for the Second Amendment. The jury has affirmed the basic right of self-defense for all Americans.